Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English. I have to admit it's a little bit weird because we are in beautiful California at the famous Laguna Seca racetrack, which you might see behind me, presenting you a German car presented by German reviewers. Why are we here? Because now we have the chance to really test drive the all-new Mercedes-AMG GT. We already had the chance to see it at the world premiere in South Germany in Affalterbach, but you know, for unknown reason, we are invited to California to test drive the new GT. However, we don't want to complain about it, and since I'm doing the English review for Fastlane Daily, I will hand over this mic to my co-worker, actually to my boss, Mr. Z, Jan Gleitsmann. Well, his English sucks. It's even worse than my English. Plus, we all agree he's ugly, but still, I hope you enjoyed this review.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. You're pretty much fired. Anyway, I'm happy. My life is good. I'm really excited. This is warm. It's November and we're in California. I have short sleeves. Everything is cool. And I already had a chance to drive this baby. It's not only the Mercedes-AMG GT, but it is a GTS version. That comes with 510 horsepower and it's good for a maximum torque of 650 Newton meters. And under this long hood is this beautiful 4-liter V8 engine. And as you might know, I'm a Mercedes fanboy, yoo-hoo! And I really love the brand AMG, of course, and I love to pronounce their claims. And it is one man, one engine, meaning one single person is responsible for a whole engine. But here it's not one man, one engine, but one woman, one engine. And Svetlana Gashi, I don't know. However, this baby built a really cool engine. I've driven this car already on the roads here, and it has lots of power and a great sound. Yes, you heard right, just 4 liters, so even Mercedes is downsizing. Anyway, there's something special about this V8. The two turbochargers, they sit on top of the cylinders and inside the V, so they're sitting right here sort of. This concept is called hot inside V, and together with a dry sump lubrication, so the oil, and the 7-speed automatic transmission, dual clutch transmission actually, on the rear axis, you have a very, very low center of gravity, which means more driving fun, of course. It was very important for the engineers from AMG, by the way, to make this car very light. So thanks to a lot of alloy in here and around here, it only weighs 1.5 tons. Before I make you follow me around the car so I can bore you with all the details, some exciting facts. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour / 0 to 62 miles per hour in just unbelievable 3.8 seconds. Well, it's not so unbelievable, but inside it feels just alright. Fuel consumption. Mercedes-Benz claims that someone, maybe one single person in some artificial concept, can reach a fuel consumption of 9.4 liters, which equals 25 miles per gallon. Ha ha! And last but not least, top speed. The top speed is limited to 310 kilometers per hour, which equals 193 miles per hour. We presented you the new Mercedes-AMG GT already at the world premiere in Affalterbach, and in the comments most likely I read, oh, it looks like a Porsche 911 from the back, and it looks like a F-Type, a Jaguar F-Type. I disagree. I totally disagree, actually. Yeah, a little bit maybe, but I would like to see it this way. Mercedes-AMG built the SLS a while back, and it's discontinued now, and this is like the son of the SLS. The shape is a little bit alike, but still different. It looks much fresher. The GT looks much fresher than the SLS, but still, we have this long hood. We have this air outlets in the hood. We have the strong power domes, and that's pretty much what the SLS had as well. Still, this is a very unique car. And talking about the Porsche 911, yes, a lot of media says that's the biggest competitor, and of course Mercedes is building this car for a reason, because the SLS was pretty expensive, while this baby here, the GTS, starts at 134,000 euros. So it's from the price range you can compare to the Porsche 911 or the Porsche 911. And yes, you can even compare it to a Jaguar F-Type Coupe. And yes, you can compare it actually to anything which costs around 100,000 euros and is faster than 300 kilometers per hour. Some design highlights from the GT, of course, full LED headlights. We have this A-wing, that's how AMG calls this A here, right here. We have a front splitter. Normally it's in glossy black, but we have a carbon performance package on this car here, on our test car, so this is carbon right there. We have a special grille. It's called a 3D model-like grille, whatever, and you can order it with diamonds, sort of diamonds. It's just like a chrome plastic on the dots right here. And we have a single blade with a star inside in the center. I've mentioned it already, long hood before the greenhouse starts, and it goes beautiful in the back. Just enjoy this beautiful sight. Okay, enough. Let me go on. We have air outlets here with two fins on it and the V8 bi-turbo badge in between. The fins on our model, as I told you, carbon fiber exterior package are made of carbon fiber, and so are the mirror caps. We have 19-inch in the front, 20-inch in the back. Alloy wheels, of course, AMG alloy wheels. And I really like how they put the AMG badge in the wheels now. It looks really nice. We have the carbon fiber, no, the ceramic carbon high-performance AMG braking system, worth around 8,000 or 9,000 euros. As an option, but this brake is really working awesome, and if you want to take this baby on track every once in a while, you better order them. Well, one more thing, excuse me. As you can see from the shape, even with the sun against the camera, there's not a single line, there's no dent, there's nothing. It's just a very round shape. Yes, we have some lines here, but they're kind of vanishing in the color. We have this very line down here, but even that line is really, it's just a soft line. So nowadays all the car manufacturers, you know, they make like edges in the car. It's like really edgy, you can scratch yourself, you know, like, oh yeah, feels good. This car is pretty round all over. You do have some lines, but they are like really soft lines, and still it makes the car very, very powerful looking. Okay, buddies, this is not looking like a Porsche 911. This is not looking like a Jaguar F-Type. You really think so? Just wait till you see the car in action on the street. I've driven an GLA 45 AMG as well today as our support car, and I was following this baby, and I can assure you, seeing it driving, it does not, at least for my taste, it does not look like a Porsche 911 at all. Anyhow, this is the second car that was developed by Mercedes-AMG all by themselves. So they thought, well, an A-wing in the front, so let's put an A-wing in the back as well, and I kind of like it. By the way, the diffuser is out of carbon fiber as well. We have very wide shoulders, yeah, holding the greenhouse, and I kind of like it. It really makes the car, the ass, look wide and big and sporty. We have, in contrast to this, very narrow taillights, and those have something special. First of all, they're full LED technique likewise, and then we have 18 spots right here, and once you use the turning signal, for instance on the left side, it goes from the inside to the outside, so it's a sequential turning signal. Of course on the right side it's going from the inside to the outside as well. We have the two exit pipes, AMG like, and in a few minutes actually, I will let you enjoy the sound that comes out here. Before I forget it, we had the chance to drive it in black and blue and red, and I liked very most this beautiful yellow called Solar Beam. And now it's my pleasure to invite you inside so I can show you the inside. And as you see, it is a sports car, so it's no easy entry. By the way, the key looks just like every other AMG key. And I have to lean out just a little bit to get the door and close it, but that's easy done. Okay, let me take off my sunglasses first, because it's a little bit dark in here, because we have all this dark surrounding on the ceiling and all the dark interior. My first impression, it is a real sports car. I don't care what's on the right or what's in the back, I'm just looking in front. It's a little bit, the windscreen is a little bit tight, but still I look outside and I see the beautiful power domes and the beautiful hood, and I can even see the air outlets, and it gives me a real good and sporty feeling. I feel good and superior in this car, really. Talking about the interior still, we have beautiful materials in here. That's all coated with leather. It's kind of hard leather, so not a soft touch, but still it is leather. So whatever you touch, you have leather, or at least Alcantara. I'm not sure if this is like real leather or Alcantara, but it feels good. We have a little bit alloy here and there, and some carbon fiber and some black glossy paint, but the whole material just, that's premium. I feel premium inside this car. By the way, I'm sitting very comfortable in the seats, and I have still enough headspace, and my beautiful colleague Sarah, who is quite taller than I am, she's 6, I'm 5'11", she can sit in here all right as well. Looking in the mirrors, in the side mirrors, I see enough from the back, and I see the shoulders of the car, which is kind of sexy if you look in the back mirrors and you see the sexy shoulders. Looking in the rear mirror, you see the back mirror, no, you see the back window. You see the back window, and the back window is kind of tight, very small, but still it's enough. You can see in the back what's going on with the traffic in the back, so this is fine. Looking over my shoulders, looking to the left is fine, looking to the right is a disaster, because you have this very, very big thing in the back that you can hardly see. And for driving, for parking, you have a rear camera which is sitting at the license plate, and you really need this to get this car, because you don't see anything from the back of the car. So this is just fine and alright. When I look through the steering wheel, I see 2 round gauges. On the left side, the speedometer up to 360 kilometers per hour. On the right side, the RPM meter. Between the two round gauges, you have a really big little TFT display, really big little. Well, it's almost as big as a new iPhone 6, and it shows you all the information from the AMG menu or from the board computer. In the middle, in the center, we have the display of the infotainment system. And I know, you Mercedes hater, it looks shitty, nah. I think with this AMG GT, they made a beautiful job. It's still freestanding and floating, but it's kind of, it's embedded into the whole dashboard, and it looks, at least at my taste, much nicer than in most other Mercedes models. And of course, you can read it very well. It's sharp. All the information are presented in a very sharp and clean way, and everything is fine. We have, by the way, the whole interior is supposed to remind you of an airplane. I've never flown an airplane myself, so I don't know. I just think it looks kind of sexy having all these air outlets here that you can, turn around so they face you and you get some cool breeze while you're on track and all that. Up here you have all the switches from the air conditions that you know from the design from the new C-Class or S-Class. And here we have the design highlight of the interior, a V-shaped middle with 8 buttons, so it's a V8, it's the AMG drive unit, that's how they call it. And in the center you have the control with a touchpad and the turning wheel that was presented with the new C-Class, and it's easy to navigate through all the infotainment system. Behind that, and I think it's kind of sad, but it's probably because they wanted to make it look nice, this is a stick for the transmission where you choose the driving programs, drive, reverse, and so on, and it's very tiny. You don't need it, but I like the AMG shaped thing, this is just like, okay, but you put it in drive and then that's it. So, and right behind it we have the armrest, and just note, if you're a smaller person and you sit more towards the steering wheel, you hardly reach it, so then it's not an armrest anymore. And by the way, talking about this, it's hard to reach the buttons too if you're sitting closer to the steering wheel. Anyhow, here is the AMG Falterbach, the beautiful badge from AMG. Okay, let's rock through this car. Oh no, one more thing. You might miss some buttons, and they're up here. So here's a button to lift the spoiler in the back, the emergency lights, and the heating 3 ways for the seatings. For the seats, for the sport seats. And I haven't really mentioned the seats yet. They're very comfortable, at least for my taste, and you can put them in any direction electrically. Funny so that switches are not on the doors how we like it as Mercedes fanboys, but it's down at the seat. Still, you have all the possibilities to make it move up and forward, and those are of course special AMG seats, and you can heat them up in 3 different ways. So I think people who like to eat a lot will have problems climbing in this car, but at least once they're in here they can probably buckle up easily. Or if you want to put a child seat on the passenger seat, that is possible too. And the steering wheel itself, it's pretty much, first of all, it's a AMG performance steering wheel, of course. It's all coated with leather Alcantara. You have a little leather thing right in the middle, so the 12 o'clock thing. And you have the buttons that you use from any other Mercedes-Benz. On the right side, you have the infotainment system and the speech control. On the left side you have everything to control the board computer, and it's flattened on the bottom, by the way. And of course we have the pedals for shifting, and they're really easy to use once you have your hands on the steering wheel. Okay, let me rock through the inside and show you the compartments. In the door panels, by the way, the doors remind me very much of the SLS, even there are no gull wing doors. In the doors we have tiny compartments with a sloppy thing here. You can hardly put anything in here, maybe a warning vest or, you know, an iPhone or something. And that's about it. Right here under this little thing is a compartment where we have cup holders, and I've prepared something, simply eliminate the raspberry things, so no Coke today. And this bottle is kind of small and it shakes around here. Even we have these little pins that are supposed to hold the bottle. Taking this water bottle, it fits in here and is pretty much prevented from shaking. Besides those two cup holders, you find a 12 volt outlet in here, and I have no idea how to use it, but there's a slot for a DVD. You know, put it in here, I don't know how. I like it closed better anyway. So under the armrest, of course, we have another compartment. For one thing, you can put the key in there and start the car if you want to with the key, or you use the switch right there. We have another 12 volt outlet and an SD slot and two USB outlets. We have sun shields, tiny sun shields, but they have a makeup mirror, very, very tight, very narrow mirror, and it's illuminated at least. We have reading lights for the driver and the passenger, and I can turn on the whole light in here as well. And we have a net down here for whatever fits in there, and we have a gloves department, and this gloves department is a gloves department because you can put some gloves in there, nothing else. We have some warning vests in there, and that fills out the compartment pretty much. The biggest compartment we have is a trunk in the back that I can reach from here, so everything that's not fitting in here you just throw in the back. Because I don't want to do it while driving, I want to just walk through the buttons here. We have the button to choose a driving program. We have not only Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus and Race, but first time individual, so you can, you know this from other cars, maybe Audi already. It's new to Mercedes. You can put an individual program and you choose, do you want the suspension and Comfort, Sport and the extra and so on. Here's the main switch, engine start stop, that I will push later. You can disable the ESP, and my Jens mate was just driving on the Laguna Seca racetrack with Bernd Schneider, who is really popular in Germany, who works for Mercedes and who was involved in the whole development of this car, and he says that turning off the ESP gives you all the pleasure you want to have on track, but still there's enough safety so you don't wreck your car. Well, if you drive at least like a grown-up. So the last one is for the suspension setting. Comfort is off, and then Sport Plus. Here is the switch for the infotainment system, for the volume, putting the car in manual or putting the individual settings. This is just start stop. Yes, this car has start stop, and this is the most fun button, I think, for the exhaust system to make it loud or rather soft. And I think that's about it from the inside. Last but not least, let's look at the trunk. And I really don't like the new way Mercedes does the trunk opener. You can fiddle around here, you won't find anything. You either need the key or you press the button inside next to the steering wheel to open the trunk. And you see the door opens pretty wide. Still, I'm 5'11", so I won't bang my head. People like, 6 something might have problems. You can reach the trunk pretty easily, everything is cool, but the trunk is not very big. You have space for 350 liters of luggage. I have to lift this head 80 centimeters up, and then it goes around 15 centimeters down. The trunk has a width of around 90 centimeters and 50 centimeters in depth. And you have a subwoofer on the right side, a little net on the left side. You have a light right here and there to illuminate the whole thing. And you have something so bad people can't watch inside your trunk. That's pretty much it from the trunk, nothing else to say. So that's about it, everything about the trunk. You can store up to 245 kilograms in the car, including the driver and passenger seat. I don't know if you can put anything on the roof. I kind of doubt it, and you can't install a hook on the back. All right, the beast is awake. And I will put my camera right here in a minute and tell you something about my driving experience. And I like it so much, you know it, talking to a camera, exciting. Anyhow, putting the car into drive, parking brake release, and here we go. Well, first of all, funny thing about California, it's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock, and then bang, it's dark. So as you can see, I'm driving in the dark, which is pretty fun with this LED intelligent blah blah light system. Nights in the curves, I don't see anything else but the street. Pretty amazing. Okay, I want to share my driving experience with you guys in the all new Mercedes-AMG GTS. And I sum it up first in badass. Really badass, I like it. Unfortunately, I didn't make it on the racetrack at Laguna Seca because we were filming so much, but I had still some curvy roads here, and I think I can tell you a little bit. Even I really wanted to go on track badly to give you some more feedback about the driving experience itself. First of all, I already told you we have 4 different driving modes, or 5 or 6, who cares? Well, important is, first of all, I got comfort. And comfort, the suspension is already pretty stiff and you get shaked around, especially on this bad roads here in America. Yes, I say bad roads in America because I'm a stuck up German. We have good roads, and this here are bad roads. I get shaken even in comfort suspension mode. Still, everything else, the steering is just quite nice, still direct already in comfort, but everything's pretty easy. So is the reaction of the throttle and the shifting of the dual clutch 7-speed transmission. Then if I put it into sport, well, I never put it in sport. I always put it in Sport Plus, of course, because sport is just for, you know, losers, and I like to take it in Sport Plus. No, I'm just kidding. So once you put it in sport, the steering, of course, get even more direct. You get more feedback off the road, whatever you do. The suspension gets a little bit harder, so it's not uncomfortable anymore. It's hard already. And the shifting is, I think, a little bit faster, but I think we're talking about milliseconds, so I would be, you know, lie to you if I tell you I would feel it really. And then you go in Sport Plus, and with the exit system, you know, and comfort, the sound is already okay. It's like, okay, I hear V8 bubbling here and there, but still the noise level is still okay. Going into sport, it gets a little bit louder, a little more aggressive. And then going in Sport Plus, it opens the thing back there fully, and it's really blasting and giving you a big smile in your face. And it's really fun to shift because the thing is spitting back there. It's really quite fun. And in Sport Plus, of course, suspension is like, you know, you feel every little stone on the street. and the steering is even more tighter. It's more, it's just like you want it if you drive fast. I would really love to take this baby on the Autobahn, to be honest, to have my Autobahn, you know, my way that I'm driving all the time there, to compare it better. But even on the streets in America, I got a slight impression how this baby reacts, and I like it. I really, really like it. The new thing from Mercedes, hey, yay, yay. Finally, they got an individual program, so I can choose, let's say, put the suspension into comfort, because I want to at least have a rest of comfort. But the exhaust system, of course, puts this in Sport Plus, because I want to have it blast around there. And the transmission maybe in Sport, and so the engine. That's pretty neat, because you can, you know, have it all on one button. You don't have to fiddle around with the system. You store your favorite setting on individual, and if you want to change it every once in a while, you just go in the menu and do it. Finally, there's another mode called Race. I didn't even try it out, because hey, I'm in America. What using Race for? I'm trying to stay out of trouble here. You know, the cops, they arrest you and all that. How would I compare this driving experience to maybe the Porsche 911 Turbo S or the Jaguar F-Type Coupe with a V8? Well, I think it's really hard for me to compare right now, because the other cars I've driven on German roads, on the German Autobahn, was this baby just on American streets. Still, as a Mercedes fanboy that I am, I really like the way it drives. Cornering is quite fun, as much as I was able to encounter it. The car follows your direction always in a way that you want it. The steering always gives you a good feedback, and the acceleration is just fun. Okay, I know a GTR, my old GTR does 0 to 100 in less than whatever. Well, I don't care, you know. It's how do I feel in the car, how do I enjoy my driving experience, and this is just all awesome here. I have this nice premium car on one hand and a sports car on the other hand, and it's both merged together into the Mercedes-AMG GT, and that's what I really like. Well, that's it from Laguna Seca and my experience with the new Mercedes-AMG GTS. I hope you liked my review, even though my English is broken and my accent is strong. I would appreciate any likes down there. If you liked the clips, if you have any questions about the car and my experience, just drop a question in the comments. And if you haven't done so and you like this stuff, just subscribe, because we do English reviews all the time. So that's it. Goodbye. See you soon.
And I want to apologize for it, because his English is even worse than my English, and he is ugly. I'm sorry.
This concept is called Hot V Inside. Hot? Okay. This concept is called Hot Inside V. And together with a dry lump lubrication... Dry sump. Should I say? Thanks to the... It was very important for the engineers, by the way, to make the AMG... It was very important for the It was very important for the engineers. I doubt that you can place anything on the roof, and of course there's no hook that you can...
Put it straight on.
Yeah. Scheiße. Last but not least,